arrive at that same conclusion. From there, I do not know what the full dimensions of the Earth is. I can make the claim that from my direct experience from all practical applications, that the Earth is demonstrably on the level. And that's it. So from there, the rest has to be fully explored. So you need to send me an email if you would like to join and chat about that. As I say, if you're a globe Earth believer, it's up to you. It is a claim that's contrary to my experience, it's contrary to all practical applications and lived life. So it's up to you to convince me that it's a globe. I had some guy earlier trying to convince me it was a globe. And by trying to convince me that it was a globe, he was saying, how do you get a pressure gradient? It's not a globe. Again, no. The guy was offering a straw man, trying to straw man me. How can you have a pressure gradient inside a container? I've shown this over and over again. It's very simple. If you would like to see a pressure gradient being created, anybody can do this for themselves. When you get various objects of different varying densities, materials, even get a bottle with water in it with an air bubble trapped inside it, get yourself a helium balloon. Now get in a sealed container, a vehicle, a car. Okay? Start to accelerate that car. And what you're going to see happening as you accelerate forwards is that you're going to see the helium balloon being pushed forwards. What's happening there is there's a compression of air happening towards the back of the vehicle, which is causing the back end of the vehicle to have a more dense area of air. Subsequently from that, there's going to be less dense air towards the front. Now again, this is something I'm going to talk about during the week. I think it's massively important when we talk about, people talk about force, F equals MA, all that rubbish. And I'll be having a wee look at that again. I'm going to go over and over that again until people grasp it. So we can have pressure gradients and containment by utilising motion. I think motion is vastly overlooked by everybody. I think without motion, I don't think we would even exist. So, for those globe Earth proponents and defenders, how can you have a gas pressure gradient in a vacuum or in a container? Get in your wee car and do exactly what I said, and then you will see that happen. Also, these people misconstrue pressure. We're talking about the pressure on the outside of a container like a pressure valve. Pressure is what we utilise to denote weight. So we have a column of air here at the bottom. I've said this before so many times, I'll use water. If you go into a body of water and you're at the surface of the water, right, there's less pressure. Doesn't mean there's no water. As you descend deeper and deeper into that body of water, you're going to feel a pressure increase because there's now more mass above bearing down. I really don't know where these globe proponents are trying to go continually with that shit. It's just never-ending circles of stupidity. Anyhow, where were we? Well, I meant to see if any of the emails, you can tell me in the chat box whether you believe the Earth's a globe or whether you deny that the Earth's a globe and your reasons for why. Other than that, I've got plans this week with the weather being better. I didn't really have much to offer this evening, but I had a spare hour or so, so I thought I would come on, say hello, and offer this up. So it's up to you 10 minutes, we don't get empty, I'm just going to go and chill out for the evening and look forward to a week of activity since it was some decent weather. You see, you could build a 1 mile trench and measure the length from A to B. If you knock down the scale of 1 mile trench tenfold and then be going what we're measuring such a small measurement using a laser. No, it's not about measure the length from A to B. It's about measuring the increasing gap between the bottom of the construct and the surface of the body of water, which would have to be the case with a globe of Earth, because they're telling me that all bodies of water are curved, conforming to the curvature of gravity. Some shite. It's what prevented space-time. But I mean, there's no doubt it could be scaled down. You could half it to half a mile. There should still be an increase in the distance between the bottom of the structure and the surface of the water. Engineering would have to have a margin for error, so that I don't know what to do properly, what that would have to be. But we can build precise, precision, materials now, square. I see that people are now running with the, Robert, high level awakenings. They're all bothered about float glass. Another aspect that people can go and have a look at how that's created. It tells you exactly where you live. Bruce Coppin, I mean, people that have like AutoCAD, I think, can maybe achieve these things. Looking at things like out of a plane, the globe Earth proponents are telling you that when you're standing at the beach, your horizon is anywhere between 1.5 miles to 3 miles away from you. Right? They're telling you that the horizon is the curvature of the Earth. Right? So when you're looking at that horizon, if you pinpoint a spot on that line, that level line, if you pinpoint a spot on that, everything beyond that point must descend. Now, again, there's a real massive issue with even looking at horizon on a globe Earth, because if I'm looking straight out, the floor beneath me should never be straight out in front of me. It should be descending from my feet exponentially in every direction. Right? But again, we'll grant them. We'll ignore the fact that the floor's rising up in front of you, right? If you pinpoint a spot on there, as you now elevate up, your position keeping levelled, you would have to be angling your view downwards increasingly as you look down the slope of the Earth. It's absolutely and utterly fucking retarded and ridiculous. I don't even know why people need to go into any great depth. These simple things should be pointed out to people, and they should just accept that what they believe is a total and utter fucking lunacy. Nobody experiences any of these things. When you elevate up, the ground doesn't drop exponentially away from you, which it should. If you were actually on a globe, you could look down the slope of the Earth for hundreds of miles into the distance. It's totally ridiculous. But people are suffering massively from Dunning-Kruger and want to cling on to their fucking lunacy because they think it's intelligent. It's a sign of stupidity. So as I say, you can come here and you can convince me it's a globe, you can give me your specifics and your reasons for why either coming out and speaking to me, or you can do so in the chat box, or you can tell me the reasons for why you reject the claim that the Earth's a globe, and what your position now is. Mary Moon 2 Little Fish. I questioned after people kept telling me to look. People I knew who were already path, but then I actually looked at all the evidence and here we are. Exactly, because if you're honest and you don't have a bias, then that's exactly when you're going to arrive. Institutions are compartmentalised. Any, organisation, only the people who are at a certain level know how the whole company works together. The people that are driving the forklifts or, whatever at that base level have no idea and no clue, and not that they care. Large round balls cause gravity, that is how we know the Earth is a mold. I know that's somebody that's just taking the piss. Surely there's not somebody that stupid that thinks that's actually a proof. That's just words. Mathematical words. And you're still convinced that it's a globe. Come here and say you're convinced it's still a globe. What we're looking for is discussion with specifics being offered so that we can reason with each other and offer that to other people. Maybe something they're thinking about or contemplating, and then they get to see, various points, people's points on the very same thing. Dismisses anything. Everything is looked at, the specifics are offered as to why that's the globe Earth. What's happening here is you're projecting yourself, son. Now, stop being a little fucking spineless shitbag and just request a link and you can come in and you can explain all this stuff. If you don't, I'm just going to ignore you now, okay? You get every opportunity. Hey, Imran. Set up. I get up here. Shut that, didn't I? Supposed to be the last time. losing friends because they say the Earth's not a globe, that tells me that they were never a friend in the first place. A friend to me is somebody who gets what you're about, what your intent is, you know, at that level, and would support you regardless of your outlook, what your personal preferences are. That should never be the case. If it's a true friend, then they should be willing to live and let live. You know, it's funny when people ask that, you know, it tells me a lot about, you know, who's moving in certain circles. These people are never your friends, they never were your friends. They would probably be stabbing you in the back, bad-mouthing you. Crabs in the North Prunes, I know them. That sounds like some solid good reason to me. If you sent a link to me, I haven't emailed you, mate. Yes, Imran Ali, I did. Was it somebody spoofing you then, is it? Was it? It may just be another Imran. We'll find out. That's what a guy in Alaska said to me. It's funny, these brain farts that people do in order to, you know, try and convince you that you live on a globe. What was that one again? Yeah, crabs in the North Pole, it's a globe. I mean, that's a goodie. That's for others, exactly. That's exactly what people like myself are about. I'm interested in popularity and pissing contests. As I say, the majority of these people that you find online who are woke and trying to save the world, that's exactly what they're involved in. They're looking to further their stature, have a bigger slice of the pie from the system that already exists. My buddy said he had found his flight path, which proves it's a globe. Wow. The datum lines for flight are, you know, plumbs and levels. That's the standard. Imran.
Hello, man, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yes, I'm good, brother. I'm good. Just sorry about that. It took me a little while to figure out how to do this Google Meet up there. Yeah, so how's things up there?
Yeah, all good, all good. How's yourself?
Good, very good. I'm calling you from East London.
Nice.
Yes, well. So yeah, first of all, big shout out to you. You know, your work is awesome and it's inspiring. I looked at it and I'm a student of science as well, and straight away, you know, I cannot believe that for 40 years I never thought about these things. I mean, how can anybody who's presented with this evidence of water, that the surface of water is always horizontal and level, this alone should be enough for anybody with any common sense to understand.
You would think, Imran, you would think that would be the case.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, right now I'm just, you know, I'm trying to explain this to my friends and to make them understand that you don't need to appeal to any authority, you just need to use your goddamn common sense. Yeah. Open your eyes and try to trust your senses. Trust your senses, they are not lying to you. Yeah.
This is people's direct experience, and I find it absolutely fascinating. The simple aspect of water, as you pointed out, you know, people will still seek to ignore that and find some excuse. You know, authority or the appeal to the consensus is mind-boggling. It's very simple. If I show somebody how water behaves, they know how it behaves, they experience it every day. They have experienced it their whole life. And, they're so brainwashed with this image of a globe earth that they refuse their common sense direct experience.
Yes. And I'm turning 43 now, and I'm utterly disappointed at myself that and angry at myself. I don't know if it's a normal feeling, but I'm just angry to think about this before.
Yes. Imran, are you okay with your image being shown on screen?
Yes, absolutely fine, yeah.
Just so that people get a change of scenery, and it's no my ugly face they're looking at.
No, I think people like your athletic physique and the way you present your videos. And before you used to have your dumbbell rack, your barbell rack behind you as well.
Yeah.
So have you changed that setup?
Yeah, that's outside. It's sitting just outside the front here.
Okay. That's great.
I had them in here obviously with the first lockdown because the gyms were closed. So.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm really inspired by your videos and the way you present logical points to the people when you go about doing these discussions, these interviews with students and stuff.
Yeah.
And you tell them about objective, tangible things. Science should be as measurable, repeatable.
Yeah.
It should be verifiable. We should not be believing in theories, unproven theories, and concepts and assumptions.
Yeah. Exactly. And,
yeah.
And do you speak about this in any of your circles, Imran?
I do speak in my circles with all my friends, and they are like in different parts of the world doing different things, and they do realize in their hearts they do know the truth.
Yeah.
And not one of them, because I have a circle of big friends, just like a group of 50, 60 friends, old friends, schoolmates.
Yeah.
Not one of them challenges the things that I present to them.
Good.
Not one of them.
How can they? How can they challenge it?
Exactly.
Yeah. So what kind of response? Are you getting any feedback from them? Are you getting anybody?
The feedback, the responses that I get, they're like joking about it.
Yeah.
They like try to tease me, but nobody like tries to engage with me directly to challenge me. They all know the truth.
Yeah.
They all know it's undeniable.
Yeah. And what brought you to the realization?
Well, to be exactly honest with you, since last 2.5 years, this whole scam COVID, it really made me question things, and I will just make one comment. Maybe you will agree, maybe you will disagree. But people ask that what difference will it make if the earth is round or flat? I tell them that I have no bias about the shape of the earth. I just want to get to know where we are, what we are standing on, what the truth is. And to me, this is the biggest and the most important question that everyone should be asking. Everyone.
It really shows how ignorant and delusional people are when they make that statement of what would it matter. When we have a philosophical, overriding view of our existence being one of accident, happenstance, accidental cosmological facts, with limited resources and pretty much a meaningless existence. And that's the overriding psychology of our civilizations right now, particularly in the West. People don't even realise that's what's driving them. They're operating from that premise and they don't even realise it. Because if they were to contemplate that what we're in is something, constructed, that there is a much bigger picture to our existence here, then, I'm pretty sure they would snap out of that those idiotic statements, as you
Yes.
say, and I've said many times before, there's nothing bigger than this. The whole control structure is to make sure that we never question where we actually are.
Yeah. And if they are able to move these people, whatever you want to call them, these psychopaths who are trying to control the humanity, if they can lie to us, to humanity, about the shape of the plane that we live on, then how easy it is to lie to us about everything else. Because I have been looking into viruses and stuff. Viruses are invisible. There's so many different opinions. Some people say they don't even exist. There's no such thing as viruses. So yeah, I mean, this really opened up my eyes, and I started to question everything. And this to me is the most fundamental, the most basic, and the most important question that every human being with any common sense should be asking themselves.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. I mean, especially if you're trying to, establish some grounds for your own existence, and you're starting from a faulty premise, the foundations of where you think you are. If that is incorrect, then everything that you build upon that foundation is also, faulty. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Yes, exactly. If you start to build something on false premises, then the whole construct will be faulty.
And as you say, I always find it, incredible, the naivety of some people who think that governments, I always ask a simple question. When people mention conspiracy or conspiracy theory, the question is very simple for me. Do you accept that human beings have the propensity and the capabilities to tell lies? And the obvious answer is yes. Well, right there and then we can cast aside these labels of conspiracy theorists and whatever else. Human beings tell lies, so people should have their guard up and be very sceptical and cynical of any claim that's being made to them from another human being, and have a process of discernment.
Yes, very true. So I wonder why we are in this stage right now, in this day and age, with all the information, why the humanity is still not waking up and able to realize that we are being lied to, we have been deceived all our lives.
It's because we need to make it a trendy TikTok video for the majority to realise it, because with all this technology we have, the only thing they're interested in doing is scrolling TikTok endlessly for 12 hours a day.
Yes. Yeah. That's what the world is right now. That's where we are at. That's how fake we have become. Yeah. So we just appreciate and we just give our attention to complete nonsense, utter nonsense.
Yeah. Exactly. And we'll get this opportunity at this time. We have access to information. We have access to each other. We can share the information. We can learn things from each other. But the majority of people are just, hypnotised by 7-second TikTok videos.
Yeah. And it just, I don't know if it's a normal feeling, but at times I just feel really, really angry. At not only myself, but others as well. Even I have expressed my anger, because I'm frank with my parents. I've expressed my anger towards them. That why didn't you realize this? Why am I having to tell you this?
Yeah.
At this stage of my life, you are damn near 80 years old and you haven't realized this.
Yeah. Well, it's the only responsibility we have is to ourselves, mate. And everybody has the capabilities to ask the questions.
Yes.
And it only tells me that they have, indulged in their own ignorance, and they've been convinced that they should chase some idea of what life is. And the majority of people have committed themselves to those ideas of life, and that's probably why they never question.
Yeah. No, as I said, I love the way you bring about different topics of faith, even in this discussion, and beliefs and mental illnesses. I have seen your videos, and they are all great, and they all make absolute sense. The different ways that you try to approach this subject.
Yeah, Nice one. I'm glad that it reached you and you got something from it.
Yes, it's great. It's great to see your videos and learn from them.
Good.
Yeah.
Hopefully you
So keep it up, Dan. Keep up the good work.
Nice one. Thanks for coming on in, man.
Thank you for accepting. Wish you all the best.
You too, buddy. Take care.
Cheers.
Take care.
Bye.
It's nice to see that we can reach many different people. As I say, this technology is brilliant for that type of thing. Which is why I encourage many other people, don't be a voice or letters in a chat box or a comment section. Why don't you just put your face up there and state it? State your processes, why you are the way you are, why you have the position that you hold. Hopefully it reaches other people. It's always great to see that it reaches so many different cultures, race. It's fantastic. And that we get the opportunity to have these kind of discussions. I forget where I was going there. I don't think that was the same Imran who is in the chat. Imran in the chat I have met personally. Imran came and had a visit here. I'm pretty sure the guy that we just had was Imran Saeed. And I think the one in the chat is Imran Ali. It's again, as I say, with the point you're making there, Paul, and that's always been it. It's not about arguing, it's about discussing things with each other, offering up specifics and processes of our own reasoning and why we have the position that we have. If you come and you say, okay, I believe the Earth's a globe, that's fine. What I want to then do is question your reasoning processes and get into the nitty-gritty. What are these assumptions that you're making, these axioms that you're basing your reasoning upon? How did you get them? Because you're constructing a worldview, an internal psychological worldview, and I need to assess the foundations that that's built upon. If you're fallacious reasons, then how can you ever ask me to accept the very same thing? You get people like this Hawkins character that come and misrepresent people. I have never hand-waved dismissed anything. That's not my attitude. My attitude is that I want to understand and comprehend, what reality actually is and the goings on within reality. In regards to the objective, in the objective sense. So, nothing's hand-waved away here. Absolutely nothing. The problem the globe Earth believers have is that they hand-wave dismiss. These globe Earth proponents have been told over and over again, and it's been articulated to them with specifics about why the points they are making are sophistry, pseudoscience, and barefaced lies. Again, just as Imran stated, I have no bias towards what the Earth is or what I want it to be. I don't want the Earth to be anything. Why would somebody want the Earth to be a particular, other than people who want to manipulate and control? I don't want to manipulate and control anybody. Do you see me here begging for money or trying to gain some form of stature to have power over other people? No. When they make these statements, they are so ridiculous. When you take the example of myself, I have no bias. Jolly man, I think those talking about flat earth have been brainwashed by YouTube. How do you work that out at the end of 2014 when there was nothing on YouTube? I mean, people have refused the globe earth since it was contrived. People are under the illusion because of people like Tommy that the flat earth or the questioning of the globe is something brand new that originated in YouTube. I mean, this is how utterly stupid and lazy and incompetent these people are. Okay? There's been many, again, I'm not going to get into digress into the chat of true history, but if you go by the history that was presented to us, then a lot of these civilizations depicted the earth not as a sphere, but as something other than a sphere. That being other than a sphere that we stand upon. Many of them depict a spherical shape surrounding us, containing a level platform. So the discussion and the inquiry into what the earth actually is has never been a foregone conclusion. Flat earth and that type of thing is not something brand new. It's always been there. Hello, Matthew. Atlantis Rising 2008 was when forums began presenting modern day flat earth data. There's some books as well. I'm sure many people are aware of these books writing about the earth, its dimensions. But again, this is just part of the propaganda that the earth utilises because it's so weak and insecure. Something that's true and that stands upon reason and logic, rationale, does not and ever have to utilise the tools of propaganda, misrepresentation, lying, intimidation. That's the tools that the globe earth and the globe earth proponents utilise continually. Again, you've got an online presence of globe trolls who profess that anybody who denies the earth as a globe are a minority of fringe lunatics and are no threat to anyone, yet they're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for years. So, how can any rational, sane person have a look at that and not be suspicious about what's actually going on? And as I say, not to mention the tools that are utilised. Everything that the globe earth offers you is sophistry. It's based on interpretations of intangible phenomena, that being the luminaries, and that's it. They try and define things utilising mathematical axioms, assumptions, right? Axioms are assumptions, and these axioms that they utilise mathematically are then built upon mathematically, and the mathematics work conceptually for modelling based on certain axioms and assumptions, right? And things work on a mathematical level. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the actual physical reality. And again, when you question these interpretations, the globe earth proponents do not want to take responsibility and face up to them and have an open discussion about it. They want to hand wave dismiss. I've pointed this out before. I'll give you an example of, again, how they operate. They utilise vision with an omission of the geometry of vision, right? So what they do is they'll get two objects, right, and they'll show you an orthographic projection, right, a side-on view of two objects, and you've got, an observer here, and what they'll say is, how can this ever be lower than this when I've got an observer here and I draw a straight line to the top of this, right? But that's no reality, because in actual reality there's a geometry to optics. Right? But they'll utilise an orthographic like a physical engineering blueprint. You know, so like, you know, along your street you have, you know, lights, lampposts. Every single one of those lampposts is erected plumb, right? And they're all the same size. You know, orthographically I show you that. You go, okay, they're all the same height, yes, this is the engineering blueprints, blah blah blah. But then as we enter that street and we look along that street, that's not what we witness visually. Visually, we witness a certain geometry to the space and the objects within that space and how they appear. That being that they appear to get smaller over distance. But a globe earth proponent will omit those factors, make a visible observation and then jump to an orthographic view of an engineering blueprint and the sizes and scale of objects and draw lines saying, well, this isn't possible if the earth's flat. Just like Sean Bumpkins and the like, utilised continually. Again, this shows you, highlights the honesty of people like myself. There's aspects to these proposed claims and proofs that I have to get involved in, because I'm not that ignorant and gullible where I can just be presented by some sophistry. Go, alright, that's fine, you showed me orthographic view, how can you draw a straight line? Right, that's fine. So therefore Earth's still a sphere. Anyhow, back to the chat. Next. Phil Taglia. Hi Dave, I've been listening to you for some time now. I really appreciate all your insight and time. I work for a sports nutrition company. Would it be possible to send you some products? Not looking for any type of advertisement. I would not like to send you products as a way to thank you. If not, no worries. Phil, I would really appreciate that, Phil. I'm always curious and interested on any of these products, so by all means, what I'm going to do, Phil, is I'm going to send you send you my address, and instead of texting thank you, I'm just going to say it here. See my fingers working. So that's appreciated, Phil Taglia. I look forward to it. Enlightened Mind, Clear Magic Curve, sub a flyer channel called Spartan Red. He shows knowledge of lands, mountains, coastlines and volcanoes are melted red brick buildings, and shows proof of it, pal. I've had a wee look, seen a guy, John Levi, talking about some of that. A lot of that stuff is very interesting. Again, for people that want to investigate these things, I'm all for that. See what you can find. My main priority is questioning the room, not the contents of the room. I don't think I'm going to get any closure on what actually went on. What you do get is a contradictory, perspective of what you've been told history is and what's going on in history. I think it's very useful for that. People finding and highlighting barefaced lies within certain narratives about our history, or history that has gone on here within this area. Check it out. There's a channel I would say for people. Was that a guy called John Levi who delves into much of that stuff. People believe that we're a vacuum, right? And there was a big expansion of an infinitely dense singularity, whatever the fuck that is. That's just mathematical gibberish, fantasy nonsense, right? An infinite dense, that expanded and spewed out energy and matter and all this stuff. And in this vacuum, these gases and dust particles in a vacuum magically came together, forming planetoids, solar systems, gyrating, wobbling, spinning and revolving around each other, magically. And then after 14.5 billion years, people like this think that human beings have sent little robot spacecrafts gazillions of miles into the vacuum of space to visit these magical, special little space testicles. We don't even know what 95% of the oceans are. 95% of the oceans are unexplored. Massive population of homelessness, hunger, poverty, abuse, all sorts of naughty that we can't figure out and fix. But these special people have got excellent materials that can resist the temperatures of the fucking sun, that can get out billions of fucking miles, flying about the vacuum of space and visit planetoids and suns and stars and all this fucking shit. These people are fucking wild. What grounds do you have to believe any of that? Cartoon images, two-dimensional images on a screen? Because that's the only thing you have. That and some written text from people at NASA. That's all you have. It's an idiotic religion. My special textbook and my wee artistic pictures. Artistic pictures and words. That's the grounds for people like that to believe in total and utter lunacy. And all those people are doing gods. This is how they bamboozle, as I said before. They have elevated mathematics above all other sciences deliberately, because they know that because it's a language, they can manipulate and influence people, because that's what mathematics is, a formal science. It's a language, right? And then they bamboozle people with people like Brian Cox, billions and billions and billions away, far, far away, far from Earth, long, long ago. They're storytellers. Not even very good storytellers. Conspiracy nuts doesn't even know what a barometer is. A barometer is a measure of weight. It's measuring the column of mass above it. It shows, as I said at the beginning of this, if you've got a tower of bricks, right, imagine you've got a pile of bricks and tower, right, and you've got a gauge for measuring weight or pressure, right, and you lift the top brick and you put the gauge under there, right, you're going to get a very, very slight reading, if any, right. Then you take the scale, the pressure reader, and you put it at the bottom of the column. Now you're getting a massive reading. Does that now mean that there is no brick at the top? What point are they trying to make here? Ask them to be specific. What is it they're trying to say? They think that by saying there's a pressure gradient, that somehow lends to the idiotic notion that we're on a little rock with gas around it, adjacent to a vacuum, and infinite vacuum, and there's no solid membrane separating your wee gas environment from the infinite vacuum because magic reasons. And then they jump to this pressure gradients share a globe somehow. But they don't even comprehend the thing they're trying to use to tell you that it's a globe. They don't even comprehend it. This character has no fucking clue. Hello, Armin. Jolly man. Cheers, Rosie. Good to be here. Just on that, even if we were never saying the Earth's not a globe, I would still have to be questioning why these institutions are getting $60 million every day. NASA gets that every single day, that's their yearly budget. What are they producing for humanity? Nothing. I showed 2 videos last week of a couple of actors playing fucking instruments. Mad. And they always say, we're here doing science. How is that helping anybody here? How is that empowering individuals? How is that giving them the tools of discernment so that we can have a better, freer and easier understanding way of life? How is that alleviating the stress, the anxiety, the hunger, the poverty, the abuse? How is any of that bettering humanity? They've sold you that as a product. People have never even questioned that. Oh, this is the cutting edge, this is for the betterment of humanity. NASA and the like are exploring the vacuum of space doing science. What's that all achieved? They've been at it now for what, over 60 years? How have we progressed? The answer is we don't. It gives us fucking nothing that's useful. It is part of the manipulation to portray your world to you